Peace, peace, family. This video right here is about bioenergetics and human frequency. So with that being said, jumping into it, we're gonna deal with human frequency in regards to your interaction with people, places, and things predicated upon your psychological perception or point of view. So let's say my favorite color is green, right? When I see green, I'm gonna get a positive outcome. When you see green, if you don't like the color green, you're gonna get a negative outcome or reaction in regards to that energetic frequency. Now, why is this important? You manifested what you absorb predicated upon what you thought. See, the brain sends neurological signals via the medium of neurotransmitters to itself via, and as well, the rest of the body, predicated upon your psychological and your emotional perception on what it is you think you're experiencing in regards to people, places, and things. And this is what manifests what you call the effect in regards to the cause, which was first started off as your thought. And the effect was your experience of your own thought. So that being said, when we're talking about human frequency, you change the world by changing the way you feel within yourself. That way you start to attract things that emit you the inner frequency that you wish to experience. So when we're talking about even food, right? When I ate meat at one point in time in my life, I love meat. I love chicken just like everybody else at one point in time in my life. Now, I can't even smell you cooking no bacon. Excuse me, why? Because in my mind, I have gained so much information and spiritual understanding on the negative aspects of meat, mentally and spiritually, that now my experience with meat has changed. So this is the whole point of gaining knowledge. Knowledge is supposed to put you at a certain perspective psychologically, so that your whole frequency interaction with people, places, and things elevates and upgrades. So with that being said, understanding comes from perception, and perception comes from frequency. So if you don't like goddamn BET, you turn it to another channel. If you don't want to live life a certain way, you simply turn your mind to another channel. This is why you have certain friends when you live a certain lifestyle, and when you don't live a certain lifestyle. I mean, have certain friends. If you work at McDonald's, your co-workers work at McDonald's. When you quit the job and go somewhere else, you don't bring the goddamn McDonald's co-workers with you to your damn Geico call center job. They stay over there and you get a new bunch of friends. Everything is frequency. So with that being said, we have to understand that somebody's manipulating our frequency. And this is the reason why we're not able to send out the radio signals via the medium of the dipole antennas located within the internal and external layers of our skull in order for us to have the experience that we wish to have. And I made a video on this. I believe I named it frequency manipulation or something along the source of that, along the source of those lines. Now with that being said, moving to bioenergetics. Biologically, right? Break it down, bioenergetics. Long story short, bioenergetics is basically the study of how you biologically input and output energy. Okay? Bioenergetics. So biologically, you do absorb frequency, right? Now with that being said, you can actually change your biological and physiological chemistry predicated upon your thought and predicated upon your emotional and psychological state of being at the time you concocted that thought. You got people who change their eye color at will. Okay? Listen, you can actually look how you want to look if you concentrate and believe in that physical figure of yourself. It's that simple. Now let me give you the science. I say this all the time. I'm going to say it again. If you hold on to a thought for more than 3 minutes, aka 180 seconds, your brain actually produces chemicals that get administered into the blood and other systems of the body that cause biological and physiological and most times genetic changes in the body that actually configures the body to physically manifest yourself in regards to the manner that you think you are or the way you emotionally feel that you currently are at this time. It's the same way when you get mad. Your heart rate speeds up, your brain starts to produce chemicals that go into the blood, your muscles tense up, your body starts to produce the physical expression of being angry. When you think you're happy, your body relaxes and certain chemicals get released from the brain and your body starts to produce effects that actually make you feel relaxed and happy. You got people who motherfucking is 120 pounds, lifting 400 pounds, because they believe that there's somebody other than they are. They believe that they're bigger. You got actual crazy motherfuckers and crazy people, okay? Go study mental patients in these hospitals. You got people doing extraordinary, this is what they call retard strength, okay? And people from the hood know what I'm talking about. You got people who don't think that they're limited physically, and so physically their body is able to perform physical feats at a higher rate or at a higher level because they have not put those mental limitations on themselves. Look at people like Bruce Lee. Okay, how strong Bruce Lee was at 135 pounds because he had exceeded his mind. So when we say mind over matter, this is what we're talking about. And like I said, there's actual hospitalized patients who are performing physical feats that to the average person who look exactly like them physiologically would never be able to perform. But the fact that they believe and hold on to that thought, their brain is producing chemicals that is causing their body to manifest what it is they think they can. So this is why they say if you believe it, you can achieve it. Because this is actually a fact. Now, why is this important? Because if you're watching Love and Hip Hop for 180 seconds plus, which the show is a goddamn hour, you are producing chemicals that are causing you to biologically and physiologically mimic what it is you think you see. Because you are now absorbing that. So this is why they put homosexuality subliminally in the goddamn cartoons now. This is why they put all of this shit through the media. This is why they are waging media warfare on your brain. Because they know that the brain is producing chemicals to mimic that which it believes that it is. So with that being said, family, this is why you have to take back your mind. Because once you come back into your African mindset and you shed your insecurities and you shed your ego, you can literally become who the fuck ever you want to become. You can, if you want to lose weight, all you literally have to do is believe that you're losing weight. It's that motherfucking simple. And your brain will start to produce chemicals in the body that cause you to burn fat faster. I know that sounds unbelievable, but it's the motherfucking truth. If you want to become stronger, if you want to look a certain way, if you want to do anything that you feel is a process in regards to achieving. Some of the shit you may think you would never be able to do. You might say, I want to do 500 push-ups straight. Motherfucker, you can do it. Just believe it and continue to work at it and understand that your body is developing. It's a process. It's not going to happen like this. But it will develop as long as you continue to take the proper steps. All your brain can do is produce the chemicals to prepare your body. It's your job to put the exercise and the practice in or the work in to help complete what it is your body has begun to mold. So with that being said, family, bioenergetics is very, very, very important. Human frequency is very important because we can start to change our perception on life due to the obtainment of correct knowledge and information. And then once you have the correct perspective on life, you can begin to mold yourself as a light being into the being that is most, let's say, proper for this current life cycle in order to navigate through what it is we call this matrix in order to make this planet back into a natural environment instead of a evil ass artificial machine. So with that being said, family, all you got to do is take your mind and calculate how much bullshit you've been watching all day. I mean, all your life. And your problem is solved on what's wrong with our people. When you say, damn, our people are acting like animals. If I just told you, if you hold on to a thought or emotion for at least 3 minutes, your brain will produce a chemical that will cause you to manifest that emotion, not just psychologically, but biologically and physiologically. Think about all the fucking kids that's listening to rap music. A song is at least 3 goddamn minutes. And that's all you niggas do is listen to killer shit. You don't got no R&B in your playlist at all. So with that being said, you've been listening to killer rap music your whole life. You've been watching violent shit on TV your whole life. It started with wrestling. Now you niggas is watching hood DVDs. Your brain has been producing self-destructive frequencies your whole motherfucking life. And then you wonder why people run around acting like zombies. Because they've been tricked into using their brain against their own motherfucking self. That's like loading a gun, but the bullet finna come out the back of the motherfucker. You've been low in your mind with visions and beliefs that are causing your brain to do you a disservice. To produce chemicals that are actually going to make you more harmful to yourself in a psychological state of being that's going to produce a frequency that's going to attract you things that are more harmful to yourself than you even realize. So that being said, you have to understand yourself, know thyself, in order to rediscipline and remaster thyself in a wicked ass environment that thyself has not created directly. So with that being said, family, your mind is more powerful than you know. You don't need no motherfucking... Some of y'all be like, I prayed and it happened. That you didn't pray, didn't know God outside you make that happen. Okay? You attracted that into your life. Okay? Or some of y'all be like, yo, motherfucking, it's stories where kids was trapped under cars and you got little mothers who lift the damn car off the child. That ain't no miracle. That's what you can do. That's what this melanin allow you to be able to do. Your brain produced the chemicals needed in order for you to manifest your will. And this is a true story. Mother seen her son trapped under a motherfucking car, lifted the motherfucking car off the goddamn child. It was not no miracle. It was not no Jesus. She tapped into an innate ability that we all have, which science does not want to disclose to the motherfucking public, and she manifested that ability in order to achieve the desired outcome that was set into her mind, and her brain helped her do that through the use of neurotransmitters within the brain that help to deliver this signal to the rest of the body. So that being said, even when you read Stolen Legacy by George James, he tells you that when the Europeans came, when the Caucasians came to Egypt, they said, quote, the Africans here have what seem to be superhuman abilities. Okay? So, all the genetic engineering and super soldier shit these motherfuckers is doing in the laboratory because they got calcified pineal glands and they don't have a melanin nerve tract in the brain is because they're trying to copy what we have the natural ability to do as long as we believe in our motherfucking selves. Period. So, you can actually start using your mind to shape your own body. If you want to gain a certain strength, if you want to run a certain speed, if you want to jump a certain height, ladies, like I said, you want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, you want to shape yourself a certain way. It all comes from the mind. You got women right now that some of y'all watching this video is probably the women I'm about to make a reference to, who get certain times of their period, they shape themselves and make themselves have curves. This is a fact. This is all them using their brain power. They're using the neuromelanin nerve tract of their brain to concoct chemicals that change the physiological structure of their body to their desired effect. That's it. And there's women right now that will attest to this. So with that being said, family, we are more powerful than we know. You are. Every machine, every car, every airplane was designed with the African human being being the blueprinted template of that construction. Everything in the world is made off of you. Even the gun is made in symbolic fashion to the penis of the African man. Everything is made based off of the abilities of the African woman and man. We are just the only motherfuckers who don't know how great we are. So you have to study cymatics, study bioenergetic frequencies, and study human frequencies and the megahertz frequencies of the brain and tap back into your true abilities, family. So with that being said, if you want to change your life, you have to first change your perspective on life. Everybody don't have the same favorite color, which means everybody don't have the same experience with that color. So is the color causing the experience, or is your psychological perception on the color giving you the experience? Because the answer is the second thing I stated. And once you understand that, now you can actually start to understand how the law of cause and effect makes you God. Because once you control your mind, which is the cause, you control the effect, which is the outcome of what it is you think you're experiencing in life. And on top of that, once you understand that, now you know to be mentally strong. Why? Because mental strength allows you to focus. And focus allows you to hold on to a thought. So now once you can control your thought and focus on your thought, now you can control the chemicals that your brain produces in order to make your body biologically react to that thought. So if you can have positive thoughts and thoughts of constantly elevating yourself physically, you'll have a body that's constantly elevating and healing itself, and you've tapped back into your God frequency. But you can't tap into the God frequency if you're stuck on religion and praying to somebody else. You can't tap into the God frequency if you're stuck on self-destruction and bullshit and retardedness. You can't tap into the God frequency if you're stuck on anything else other than positivity. Because your brain will be producing everything other than positivity itself. So with that being said, family, your biological computer is the most powerful weapon you have. And this is why it's constantly always under attack from the time you come out of the womb. Once you tap back into the two things I just named, which is your human frequency, which is predicated upon your perception on people, places, and things, and your bioenergetic abilities, which is predicated upon how long you can hold a thought and the chemicals that thought produces in order to produce an effect in your body, in your physiological in your physiological foundation of yourself, predicated upon that thought that you're holding on to, then you have become back a God. So with that being said, family, let us tap back into our righteousness, because both of those abilities don't exist to you if you can't properly navigate righteously. Knowledge unlocks information, but certain information is not understood or digested properly by the mind if there is not a good intent at hand. So the most intelligent people always have a good heart, or the most wise people, I should say. Wisdom comes from righteousness. There's no wise demonic ass books. You can't go find a wise motherfucking demon book. You can't go find a wise Satanist. You can't be like, oh damn, these devil worshippers were wise. No, you might be like, they were diabolical. See, and evil motherfuckers are not intelligent. They're diabolical. Righteous people are wise and intelligent. So let me make that distinction. You cannot tap into your wisdom, to the true wisdom of your soul and the true intellect of your cellular self, if you're not righteous. And once you tap into the true potential of yourself intellectually and on a scale of wisdom, then your brain starts to produce chemicals which back up that frequency. So with that being said, family, control this world. That's what it was made for you to do. But control it correctly. It's like a basketball. You bounce the ball, the fucking ball don't bounce you. You control the experience. Don't let the experience control you. And in regards to the self-esteem of the African person, you should never have low self-esteem knowing that you can change the things you don't like about yourself with just 180 quick seconds of thought. Look at the placebo effect. You got people, they giving people fake wine and telling them that it's real wine and real liquor, and they're really actually getting drunk while drinking juice. But their brain is producing a chemical that's actually making them produce the desired effect, which was to be under intoxication when they never even had an alcoholic beverage in the first place. So this is an actual fact. So with that being said, MK Ultra, mind control, all the CIA shit is predicated upon the manipulation of what we naturally are able to do, which is biologically produce an effect physically predicated upon what we mentally believe. So with that being said, family, tap back into who you truly are, and don't let this world, because the physical realm is nothing more than an illusion. Don't let the illusion trap you to the point to where you think that the flesh is reality, when the flesh is just an actuality of your mentality. So with that being said, I love y'all. Peace.